If you just now tuning in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. Let's talk about it. Hey, yo, GMS fam, the green room, what's going on, everybody? How y'all feeling? How y'all doing? I know it's a night stream. Usually I go live during the day, but I seen what happened, and I had to do this while I had enough energy to do it. And I'm up, and it's time, all right? Now, first and foremost, before I even get to anything, as usual, hit that like button on the way in. Follow me on my socials. Share this live, man. Put it on your social medias. Text somebody the link. Do whatever you can do, man. If you support the GMS show, do that, man. Shout out to everybody pulling up, man. Pull up to the chat. Let me know you are in here, tuned in. I see you, Pride Time B. I see, what is that, the 5150 top goon in charge. And then Jay Wright is in the building. I see Jay Wright 23. What's going on, man? Listen. It just went down on $1 million worth of game with Gillie and Wallo and a special guest, of course, none other than Corey Holcomb. Now, they had a really good conversation for a while leading up until phone call that happened where Wallo decided to FaceTime Donnell Rawlings, knowing the problems and the issues that are just boiling between these two comedians. And he decided, you know what? I'm going to try to play mediator as he usually tries to do. You know, Wallo is somebody who, you know, just like, you know, the good man Zoe Williams, he seems to be a voice of reason. So when there's turmoil or when there's beef or when there's issues going on, he wants to try to mediate those things or try to make those things better. The problem with this is he hasn't tried to mediate anything with Corey Holcomb. Now, Corey seems like the type of guy who will hold that grudge as long as he can. But also, I will say this. We are not dealing with a regular situation where Corey attacks somebody and then they go at him and now he feels attacked. Actually, he was attacked verbally by Donnell Rawlings when he was at the Laugh Factory. He was up on stage, Corey was, doing his set, and he started saying some things during his set that made Donnell Rawlings get triggered to where Donnell got up and decided to walk up towards that stage and disrupt that man's comedy set. What Donnell says, he says verbatim, is one of those hidden rules in comedy. It's one of those unspoken rules in comedy where you don't heckle a fellow comedian because he should know not to do so. Now, I bring that up because not only did he do that, but he also took accountability for where he was wrong. Donnell said he was wrong for that. Donnell has always expressed that he shouldn't have did that, but what happened happened, and now here they are today. Now, like I said, Wallow is somebody who feels like he is a mediator. He feels like he's supposed to try to rectify a situation and get two brothers together so they can squash a beef. Now, do I think that this is a beef that was something where they would have to see each other in the street or try to throw hands or really have some like physical altercation? No, not at first. I just, of course it was going to be a back and forth of words. This guy felt this way, this guy felt that way, but you never really thought. Now, after this conversation though, after the conversation that took place today on $1 Million Worth of Game, I'm starting to think that there might be more that could come from this situation. Now, I don't know how Donnell is feeling after this conversation. I haven't seen him say anything about it. He hasn't posted nothing about it. They posted this clip last night of them two going back and forth, but just like, edited clips of them kind of going back and forth, but they didn't post the actual extended conversation between the two until they aired this live. Now, this is where it gets interesting because the way that they now this is why I ask in the title, did Gillie and Wallo set up Corey Holcomb? I'm asking that question because the way that they clipped, from when I'm trying to understand the entertainment space and the media space, you got to understand this is it's a content game. You have to bring people in to try to get them to want to watch the content that you're putting up. So a lot of the times when certain things like this happen, you post up small clips of, some controversial things or something that, some drama or whatever the case may be. And then it brings the people to the live interview or the whole, full form interview that you put up on the internet. Now, these guys decided that they were going to clip up some of the things that was said. And I'm not going to lie, the way that they clipped it up yesterday, it seemed like it was in Donnell's favor because they were laughing at all the things he was saying. Not that he wasn't saying anything funny, but it looked like Donnell had the upper hand in the conversation, and it made Corey look like he was kind of running out of things to say. Now that you watch the whole conversation in full, clearly Donnell is way too sensitive. Not that he doesn't have the right to feel some type of way about somebody disrespecting him, but you can tell he's like, it's hard for him to really get his point across because he's more hyped than he is trying to speak logic. Even though he possibly be right about how he feels, it's just the level of him being kind of all over the place. So it kind of worked in Corey's favor once you see everything play out the way that it played out. Now, we're gonna go through this. The one thing I want to say though is that Donnell, you fell into the trap, man. Donnell fell right into the trap. That trap was what Corey was talking about over the past couple weeks when it came to the so-called Backdooria community. He has been wanting to ask one of these guys who he has an issue with if they've ever penetrated or been penetrated by another man. He got that chance. He got the chance to ask that question to somebody directly, and that person was Donnell Rawlings. Now, I'm going to spare you guys my own version of how I saw this. I want y'all to hear it for yourself, and I want y'all to wait for Donnell's answer. As a matter of fact, not only did he answer, but he also reverted the question back to Corey. But we're gonna get to that. Now, here's the setup. They were talking about parties, Hollywood, all this other stuff. I think a Diddy party maybe. And one thing that came up was Donnell attending one of those parties. So since Corey brought up Donnell, Wallo was like, oh yeah, you guys got problems. Gillie's like, yeah, you got problems with Donnell Rawlings. And then he decided to FaceTime him, and this is how it went. Now, this is me reviewing what happened. So if you didn't see what happened, you can go watch it if you want. But we're about to have a conversation about this. So this will be stopped every once in a while. We're not finna be stopping it every second, every minute, every whatever. It's not finna be that. We're gonna listen to it, but when there's things to be said, I'm going to be saying them just to give y'all forewarning, all right? I don't want y'all to be out here thinking that we just finna sit up here and just play this whole thing and just sit here twiddling my thumbs, all right? This is not the $1 million worth of game podcast. If you want to go watch it without any commentary, without any of that, go watch it in full. But right here, y'all know what we do at the GMS show. We're going to review this here. Now, listen up. Shout out to everybody in chat. Hit the like. Make sure you do all that good stuff. Shout out to y'all. If y'all want to hit the super chat, if y'all want to hit the Cash App, all that information is in the description below. Let's go.
Listen.
Slap him on the ass out.
Let me ask you back in the day.
Donnell Rawlings went in there.
Oh, Ashley, he always on.
Ashley Larry.
Ashley Larry with everything. Listen, man.
Somebody said they saw him leaving the party like that shit don't hurt no more. Go ahead, my bad.
No, Donnell. No, that's how he. Listen, Donnell. Listen. Ashley Larry, man.
Bring it.
Ashley Larry ain't got.
Hold on, you got an issue with Donnell Rawlings too?
No, you don't.
Not really, man. Look,
That's
man.
so Donnell will roast him too.
I got to roll up for this shit.
No, because Donnell went on the Breakfast Club and killed him.
He did a little bit, but that's what you want to say.
I forgot he killed you on the Breakfast Club.
I love Charlamagne, but he enabled people to talk about me.
No, he don't.
He enabled people to talk about me, man. I ain't been on the Breakfast Club in a while, but
That's the first time I heard him. Well, not really the first time. He kind of insinuated that on his show before, but this is kind of the first time where he's really trying to be vocal on different platforms about how he feels now about Charlamagne. That's one thing people, I felt that way too. Like, of course they have Jess up there, but then bringing up other people that, have had issues with Corey and how, they speak. You got to understand, Charlamagne, before he was the light-skinned, conservative Charlamagne that he is today, where he's not so wild, he was a professional antagonizer. So some of those aspects still lay in with who he is as a person, but nonetheless, clearly you see Corey has an issue with Charlamagne, and he's not going to be going up there anytime soon, especially as long as Jess is sitting in that spot. But let's keep going.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, let them do what they do. I got a vehicle too. It's called a 5150 show, so I get to talk back.
Nigga, you put me on voice.
Who was that?
Donnell, look at this.
Man, he got a minute plan, dog. That fuck ain't for that phone. He ain't gonna answer, dog.
Come on, man. You always try to be peacemaker, man. Stop that, man.
Ashley Larry, man.
He answer the phone, dog. It's too early LA time. He might be in LA, dog. He off that.
He gonna think this was a setup, man.
The person you're trying to reach is not available.
See, this is how nigga get big. He get big, he don't want to answer his phone no more.
I know somebody who can get in touch
How
with him.
you know him? You was locked up all them years, man.
Ashley, my man.
He was sitting between old
Yo,
boy
listen. It's
Who
me,
is that?
it's
That
me,
dude he
it's
finally
me,
answered?
It's me and Gil here. What you mean bring the aggression down? Don't talk. Look who right here.
Bring the aggression down, son.
Who you peanut head?
Yo, oh, nah, hang the phone up. Tell him the truth, son. Tell him the motherfucking truth. Y'all ain't gonna get no peace treaty on this shit. It's too far gone.
No, y'all gotta get piece it up, man.
He don't want that, son.
What you mean I don't want that? I saw you walk. Hey,
You don't want that, son.
I saw you walk in the mall and you had your son with you, and I said hello.
I think I
Hello?
said, I'm gonna take a chance.
Is it me you're looking for? I can see that you're mild. I'm just kidding, man.
Get me on that in front of my son, so
But I ain't never that type of dude. I ain't that type of dude.
I know physical is physical. You got physical trauma, mental trauma, and mental abuse, son. And you're very abusive, son. And you're abusive to the ones that love you. And I had a conversation with you when we was at the improv.
Damn.
When you said you think I'm jealous of you, I didn't understand where that came from. But I said our personalities are similar where we don't with each other. And I did apologize for yelling out. I did that. I said that. I did all the efforts. And we also had discussed the possibility of me coming on your podcast. And then it wouldn't stop. I did Ryan Cameron's show, and he had asked me about it. You came in behind me. Nothing bad to say or whatever. And then on that one, I wasn't thinking no violence. You said I'll kick his ass and all that time. And it wasn't never none of that.
I would, but I'm saying I ain't that type of guy.
I know, and I would fight back. But I don't understand what was the place when I was respectful to the situation. I told Ryan Cam, and he even played the video of me being neutral about it and explaining what my part of it was, and you still winning with that.
Hey man, you can't be respectful when you want to be respectful, and then be this who talking crazy to me while I'm on stage. Come on, man.
It's funny to hear his aspects on respect, because Corey honestly believes that he doesn't disrespect anybody. Now, I don't care who you are. You can be the biggest 5150 chat room goon. You can be the biggest Corey Holcomb fan, but be real. All right? If you're not being real, you just a brainless follower who likes to hug on another nigga nuts. All right? It's okay to be a fan of a nigga and be real about it. Corey disrespects the hell out of a lot of people and then hides it behind the guise of comedy. Okay? That doesn't mean he's not a comedian. That doesn't mean he's not funny. That don't mean he don't be saying funny shit. It don't mean that he don't be actually saying jokes on the show. But let's keep it real. He is a disrespectful human being. And he tries to mask it with being real. And then when somebody else is doing the same thing towards him, now, oh, they a hater and they this, or they trying to get at him, or they trying to do something horrible to him. Hey, man, that's just how it goes, all right? Just keep it real. Just keep it real.
I understand that part. But you know, that's an unwritten comedy. It's an unwritten rule that you don't yell out at the comedians.
No. How about this? When men disrespect each other, they fight or kill each other. That's why we don't disrespect each other, especially like that.
But I don't get grimy though, Corey.
But no, you can't disrespect people. And then you was lying. You was lying about it too, dog.
Explain. It's a good time to talk about it. Explain what I lied about. And now, if you think it's fair to bring my family with this and be critical, this is my problem. I don't give a we can beef, we can not with each other, but to bring my family into it, like that's the grimy part.
Hey, when it get grimy, it get grimy. When it get grimy, it get grimy. That's why I don't really like disrespecting people, because everything go when it go there. Everything go.
Well, if your character is people have relationship. If your character is kids are not off limit, then you got bigger problems than me talking about this right now.
Ain't nothing off limit when you talking crazy to me and you know we don't play like that. Ain't nothing off limit.
Okay, let me explain this. The crazy part, and this is my issue, and this is my issue with the whole thing about the whole thing. Everybody like, oh, he hold his man down and everything. And I said this on every platform. The D-Ray Monday night, it ain't to blow up. It's for to work out. It's a room of 150 people, and you got Dave Chappelle and y'all be like, oh, he on this, and he did all this for his career. You got a that can, and I was like, I said on platforms, if you want to be critical of him, you're gonna be critical of him in the room. The phones ain't locked.
This nigga took over the interview.
The phones ain't locked up. Up here just talk like people know.
Now this was the part I want to show y'all, because I don't want to, I'm not trying to get flagged or no crazy shit like that, but I want y'all to see his reaction. Corey got mad at this part because now he's talking too much.
50 people, and you got Dave Chappelle and y'all be like, oh, he on this, and he did all this for his career. You got that can, and I was like, I said on platforms, if you want to be critical of him, you're gonna be critical of him in the room. The phones ain't locked.
This nigga took over the interview.
The phones ain't locked up.
I had to show that part because I wanted y'all to see. He feels that way now because they let him sit on that phone, and now he's having a conversation during a Corey Holcomb interview where it's supposed to be all about Corey and not about the things that is, the other people that he's talked about. But this goes back to the type of shit that Godfrey said about Corey, where he invites this type of shit. This is what happens when you talk about a lot of people the way that you talk about people. It breeds this type of shit. So therefore, people aren't going to sit there with you for an entire interview without bringing up some controversy or the issues you have with somebody. And it just so happens that Wallo has Donnell Rawlings' number, and they can make some content out of it. And now you feel like Donnell is taking over the interview. I mean, understandably so. You know, I'd be irritated too. Like, why y'all got this dude I got issues with up here talking and trying to take over the interview? Man, hang up from this dude. But it kept going.
Just talk like people know. If you want to judge it like that, then go to arena. Go to an arena and judge it when I'm doing 25,000 people and everybody going crazy.
Okay, so look, let me ask you a question. Why you think Dave Chappelle ain't never said nothing about me, Slick, after I said he don't be ripping the mic?
The reason why, because you want the honest truth? You want the for real honest truth?
Why you asking me
You ain't on
questions?
this level. You not on this. What does Jay-Z say?
So let's keep it there. Let's right. Why you said something though?
What he say? If I shoot you, I'm famous. Gillie, you a rapper. Picture that.
He's not no rapper. He ain't make it.
All right.
Right.
But the thing
Don't
is,
say all right, man.
I'm just saying.
Who does that? Him? Dave coming back. Who does that benefit? It don't benefit him. Me?
Right, so why you say something?
What'd you say?
Let me say it slow. Why did you say something?
Because me and Dave don't got the same moral compass. I'm grimier than him. Dave is not grimy. Dave is looking at it like this. Why they need to entertain Corey and his dumb when I make $2 million in the arena? Donnell, he ain't even suggested to me, but I take offense to it. I don't know what you know. I don't know if you understand what having a real friend is, Corey. I don't know if you understand what.
Have you realized you just talking about people the whole time you on the thing? It's like, it's almost like a brawl. You. I'm talking to you. Look, let me tell you something, man. You don't have the courage to be honest with me right now. Is it dope in your system right now?
Oh shit.
Listen, I have the courage to answer, and I have the courage to answer everything honestly and to 100% of my knowledge. And why don't I have the courage?
Is it dope in your system right now?
No, it's not no dope in my system.
Oh man.
And you know what? And that's a nice way to divert and like do, try to flip the script. What questions did you have? You asked me that I haven't answered honestly.
You just said it ain't no dope in your system, so what could I say? I ain't with you. Have you ever been penetrated or penetrated a man?
You know what?
I'm asking.
Now this is where Donnell lost the not the battle, but he lost this section of the back and forth. Okay, this is where he lost to say he will redeem himself a little later, but right now he kind of lost it because I don't know if he be watching 5150 to hear what Corey has to say about him, probably, but he should have answered this question expeditiously.
Asking you.
Nah, you know what? The thing is, Corey,
Oh shit.
you're doing great for yourself.
You can't dodge this question, because y'all guys don't never answer this question.
What question?
Put a 420 in the chat if you want me to spark up right now, GMS fan. Put a 420 in the chat.
What question?
Okay, I'll say it again. Have you ever been penetrated
Oh, my
or
God.
penetrated a man in any way?
Jesus.
You know what? That's a question that only your fan base will be entertained.
Trying to dodge. What the? See, you ain't ready to talk to me for real. I know your problems.
No,
said no.
sir.
said
Have
no.
you?
Have you? He asked you the question.
No,
Corey.
sir, not at all. No, sir.
You the
And
one-
you saw how I answered it right away? You had to build up the courage to lie.
No, I didn't. No, I had to hear what the you said, and that's a
Get the
ludicrous
fuck.
question.
You heard all the other shit I said.
Fellas,
Hey, dude, but look.
Why
Hey, man, look, I ain't mad at you, man, but I'm telling you, it's dangerous when you see people, if you start disrespecting them, man. I'm a comedian. I ain't no gangster, but I'm saying, like, in life, if you disrespect men, it can go real bad real fast. Because everybody
And guess what, Corey? You ain't the only person with that logic, and guess who else get it? You said the right word. You're not talking to no son. You act like you talking to a that ain't been through, that don't got relationships. I don't know what this notion of you talking this, and you said something. He wouldn't have been able to
But
do
you
it.
already lied to me. Do you know who I know in New York who hang with you? I know how you move.
And there's another part of Corey Holcomb that people have to be careful of, especially the ones around him. I see the discourse going on with that video that was posted with Craig and Corey talking about Godfrey. Now, if you didn't see it, of course you probably did. If anybody's here right now paying attention, you most likely heard it already. Craig ran into Godfrey at the comedy store, some comedy club, and said that Godfrey said that he was not going to reply to Corey. He said he has too much love for him. He's not going to respond, none of that. The way that Corey talked about that situation, it was almost like he was sending a slick warning to Craig not to be so cool with his enemies. One thing Corey's good about is finding out information about people around him or just people in general and holding that against him. Holding that against him to the point where he will use it against the people who he once called a friend. Now, that's not the case with Donnell. But ask yourself, Corey is he's like Whack 100 in a sense. He finds out a bunch of information about people, and when it's time to use it, please believe he gonna use that shit. Shout out to you, Joe Thompson. He said, what is your Cash App? It is right below your comment. Shout out to you, Terica. I appreciate you. Put up the Cash App right there. That is a Cash App if you want to use it, if you want to support the GMS show. Let's keep going.
And you lied and say you don't move like that. You probably dope sick right now.
Oh.
I ain't mad at you for that, but I'm saying if you ain't got the courage to say who you are, you probably not gonna get along with me.
You know what? I'm not gonna let you tell me who I am. If you have your audience and they love the that you talk about. And it don't matter what you say. You're in a controlled environment when you do the podcast. They're gonna say whatever. You're in an environment with those people. Everybody don't think like you. You got your percentage of people that think like you, the rival, all that. But I'm not the only person that don't think half the that you say is shit. And when I said on it, you are a provocateur. You are.
That's your word. That's probably the biggest word you know. Because you said it too much. You said that about a lot of people.
I said when it applies
That's your
to
big
people,
word, G.
it applies to people. And what you do, and you know how to stand it, you know how to move the needle. You know what you say is what I'm going to do. Half this shit I'm not here that you say, I'm like, for what?
I'm going to start spending money on followers like you.
The industry
And we're going to find out. All this stuff I asked you, remember you said you don't do it. Remember you said you don't do it. I'm going to hire somebody to follow you. I off money on stupid.
Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy.
Man, we try.
I don't know if y'all caught that, but Corey said he is going to mess around and pay somebody to follow Donnell during the day just to confirm that he is a dope fiend. But let's keep going.
Put a head in
No, this ain't the Breakfast Club where it's him and Les sitting there talking without me being there. It's me here, and I'm not being aggressive. I'm just asking you questions. I ain't mad at you.
But why you asking me if he gave something, if he got some?
They had nothing to do with nothing.
Hey man, it was a picture of him sitting between the nigga legs and pool.
that's a good joke.
It's a joke?
We already talked about
Am I lying on you?
What? I already explained. Listen, man.
I already explained.
I explained.
Stop it, dog.
I explained that situation. I explained that trip and everything. But if that's the narrative you want to do, I don't give a fuck. And I didn't even care about talking to you now. It don't, like you say, it don't mean nothing to you. It's a lot of things I want to react to. I don't do it. I say, I let that nigga do his thing, do his thing, I do my thing. That's it. And like you say, nothing is off limits. I do consider certain things off limits. And if you want to sit up here and tell everybody, but you don't care about what nobody think about you. But if you...
Well, I didn't say... Did I say I don't care what nobody think about me? I don't know. It matters, but I'm saying, like, with you, it's always been envy. Because I'm the guy that I ain't with Dave Chappelle traveling, nor with... You with Dave Chappelle because you great to open. You an opener. You don't close out tours and stuff.
Now, this your Uncle Shay Shay. Now, I seem to recall this picture being on the internet. You put it on Instagram. You was very happy. You was very excited to be at a Diddy party. And what I see here is that you are the only man that decided to sit on the floor in between Diddy's legs. Now, there's nobody else on the ground. Only your butt cheek is on the floor. Everybody else decided to take a seat on the couch next to Diddy, maybe because they know how he get down. And you, sir, was the only man that decided that he wanted to put his buns on the floor and go in between Diddy's legs. Now, look at Diddy's face. Look at Diddy's face. Now, that's something. I'll tell you, Skip. I'll tell you like this, Skip. If I was in front of Diddy like that, I'd have to have some distance in between my back and his junk, cause I ain't finna have his junk sitting on my back like that, on my shoulder blades. This man decided to lean in. He put his arm on his look how you could tell that Diddy used some of that baby oil on his legs, because look how shiny his shins are. His shins are as shiny as lip gloss on a brand new OnlyFans hoe. The one that's suing me, you know what I'm talking about? You look at the legs. Look how happy Diddy is. Look at his mouth. Diddy's mouth is wide open, and here Donnell is smiling in between the legs. I'm gonna tell you like this, Skip. I am not having it. If it was me, I'd be just like French Montana. In the back, actually, you know what? Diddy, he looked like he... Are you rubbing Diddy's shoulders, French Montana? Are you rubbing Diddy's left shoulder, French Montana? Are you crazy? Oh, Skip, I gotta get up out of here, Skip. I'm sorry, Skip. It's too much. It's too many niggas in here. I see one lady on a boat somewhere, and a bunch of niggas. God damn it.
Stuff like that. They be like, yeah, put him on. Let him go up there and say something in the beginning.
All right, I'm gonna let you talk. I'm not gonna yell.
Yeah, okay, then. You like the little preacher that just started out. They let him go up there and say something for the main preacher go up there who going home with the money.
I'm gonna be smart to raise my hand. Guess what? I don't open for anybody.
What?
You ever see me? Listen to what I'm saying.
Did you just say you don't open for anybody?
Do you want to listen to what I'm saying? I said I don't open for anybody. I ain't gonna open for you. I ain't gonna open for nobody on that. Do I open for Dave Chappelle? Yes.
You just said you don't open for nobody. What's wrong with you?
Man, you listen. You know what? You're not listening to what I said.
I just heard him say it. Anyway, I ain't mad at you,
Let me
dude.
ask this question. I don't open for just anybody. I missed the word.
Oh, okay. You fixed it. I'll give you
I
that.
missed the word. And I headline. I do my own thing. I don't do these. I ain't doing all these packages, shows. I don't do them. I do them sometimes, but I do nice for myself. I do my and my for everybody. But I'm saying,
You say yo, what is for everybody?
my comedy and my show.
Ain't none of us for everybody. I done had nights where I piss off people, but I could stand on it because it worked for me. Everybody, what happened at the Comedy Store?
This nigga Corey looked like a Southside Chicago banana.
What you saying?
Yeah, at the Comedy Store. It was all over the internet. It was a bad night, right?
You guess what? The Comedy Store. I embodied your personality. Didn't get.
It's crazy.
Why don't
So
y'all just
I
have a
did
battle?
that.
Why don't y'all just have a battle, man, a standoff, a slam battle? Do they do that?
I've suggested that.
Oh, you called him out?
Joseph Thompson, appreciate you for the 10 in the Cash App. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much, and appreciate you highly appreciate you for supporting the GMS show in a big way. Thank you for the 10 in the Cash App, my brother.
You was bitching. You was bitching, Corey. He called you out, man.
What up, Biggie?
If I thought he was a strong comic, I would go for it. But
Fuck
right
that,
now,
man. I was
it's
supposed to
game.
get comedy battle.
Comedy Wars.
Let's go.
For some reason,
We got the money.
For some reason, Mr. Holcomb don't understand, it don't even matter what I do on stage. You can put the narrative out there, me and everything. Not one fucker that has ever come to my show call it that. So if it's a battle, if it's a
What did he
whatever
say,
it
didn't
is,
I know?
I ain't scared of that shit.
So let me ask you a question.
I know you
So
ain't
let me ask
scared
you a
of shit.
question.
You sit
If I
between
put
a
you on
nigga legs
stage,
at a swimming pool.
What up, Doug?
Yo, come on, man.
This what the did.
yo, come on, man, with that.
Come on
Hey,
with
man, you
that.
sit between the nigga legs at the pool.
Come on, man. You talk about the battle,
Talk
man.
about you don't
We
open
talk
for-
about the battle.
He said, talk about somebody to open for somebody. That nigga open for you. Look at Diddy's face. He opened his legs and his mouth. Diddy is a nasty nigga, bro. You's a nasty man wearing a fedora, happy as hell. Oh, Donnell, why? Why? Why'd you have to be in this predicament? Oh, my God. Thin neck thruffle thinnins. I'm surprised that nigga wasn't sitting like a pretzel. Let's keep going.
Yo, come on, man. Yo, this is bits.
I'll say this.
I'm still keeping it joke.
No, but listen.
He over there stressing out.
When y'all gonna have a battle,
You
man?
gonna have a heart attack, man. You got that dope in your
Hey,
system.
hey, Don. You gotta have a battle with this boy.
He can't battle me, man. It's like, I ain't saying this to be disrespectful. He's not that strong a comic. If he was, I'd be like, oh, that might be something that can
First
make
of all,
some
you ain't
money.
gonna tell Dave got to open it up. He ain't that strong a comic.
You
dog.
tripping.
That's why Dave is not gonna have no monsters open up for him.
He's tripping. He's a monster. He's a monster.
You say Donnell a monster?
Yeah, he's a monster.
His comedy is an opinion, though. I get it. Yeah. So I ain't arguing that, but to my crowd.
If they closed abortion clinics down, if they got themselves together and had some morals and some respect to themselves, you wouldn't have a show.
Woo! This is where Donnell started heating up. He was losing the first half of this battle. I ain't gonna lie, Donnell, you was losing horribly. This is like when the Lakers was down, or was it the Lakers or was it the Cavs? Which one was the moment where LeBron came back down 3-0 or 3-4 or 3-1 or some shit? Which team was he on? I forgot. This nigga done went to several teams, but either way, you get my reference, motherfucker. This was the moment where Donnell decided to grow his fucking wings and decide to fly.
Yeah.
His wings was a little damp from all that baby oil that was on Diddy's shins and shit. This nigga had to dry his shit off and get to it.
Hey, but that's a big if.
You are funny off the misery and the trauma of this. Nobody wants to hear that you talking about.
I agree 100%.
If it wasn't with daddy issues, you wouldn't have a show, nigga.
I agree. And if it weren't for them uppers you had to take to be up, before you answered the phone, you
I think it's crazy.
goof ass off.
Crazy. Y'all crazy, man. Y'all need to really get together, man, and do something, man,
No,
together.
it ain't because he'll get disrespectful, man.
I try,
know
man.
how
I
you
think,
get, man.
I think we can work together.
I'll say this. You know, this is, and you, like your character, you said it. Even as far as the gangsters, no women and children. I ain't gonna go with this. When you say nothing is off limit, and you say a motherfucker, the person that he had a kid with, and even that.
What did I say about your kid? I ain't that type of nigga now.
Person, you put some. It don't even matter. I ain't going for that.
Right, you ran out of shit again. You don't know what you did. You remind me of a brawl. You just say something, and then when somebody say, "What did he say?" You be like, "I don't know. He said something though."
You know, Corey says so much stuff about people that he does forget what he be saying a lot of the times, and it's funny because he get on D a lot about not remembering stuff, but he be the main one talking about, whatever he said or some shit. I get back to it or something when I think of it. But yeah, you made a reference. Now, I can't quote it because I don't have the episode, but Corey did say something about Donnell and his situation as far as his baby mom who had a baby with and his son or whatnot. He said something about him having a baby and whatever the case may be. So Donnell is in the right ballpark. He just doesn't remember what Corey said about that. If anybody remembers in the chat, put it in the chat. But he did make reference about something about Donnell and his family. So that, just put that on record.
Yo,
You know what you remind me of?
Uh-oh.
You remind me of a bitch.
BB.
He said he reminds Corey. This is what they blocked out. Donnell said that Corey reminds him of a bitter bitch. And then he went on to say he reminds him of a big bitter bitch.
He remind you of a BB, a bitter bitch.
No, he said a triple B, a big bitter.
A big bitter
Y'all
bitch.
crazy, man. Y'all got to stop this.
Popping in the club. You like an old strip. You was popping.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
And every once in a while, a fucker throw you something. But
Nah. You gotta see this. Y'all gotta see this. I can't deprive y'all of seeing this because you gotta understand. This was not helping the situation. When niggas start laughing in your face about the things that's being said and the way that they laugh, it's gonna start really bringing your ego down a little bit. So Corey was kind of missing on some of the jokes he was laying because the niggas next to him was laughing. Now this is also going to build that theory that Tuesday night, not only is he going to go in on Donnell, but he's also he most likely, I don't know, I could be wrong, maybe, who knows what happened at the end of the episode when they were done and they cut the cameras off and they had a conversation. But I'm going to take a wild guess and say that he is going to think that they set him up in a way that was unfair to him bringing Donnell on the show. Now he's gonna show them love for having him on the show, but he's also gonna give a little bit of pushback because of them and Donnell FaceTime during the show. But y'all gotta see their reactions when Donnell was saying this shit.
A BB. He remind you of a BB.
That's what happened. Earth Dragon, thank you. This is what happened. Earth Dragon said he posted a picture of his family, which was on 5150, and called him a self-hater. That's what happened. But let's get it.
Triple be a big bit of y'all crazy, man. Y'all got to stop this.
Popping in the club, you like an old strip. You was
That's a good one. That's a good one.
And every once in a while, a fucker throw you something. But your game
Yo.
like it is, and what you keep doing is reliving your past. When are you gonna be somebody
Let him
else?
get it out.
All right, man. So next time you see Dave, man, tell him I ain't mean no harm. I just was saying what I
ain't got
saw.
something, guess what?
And then
It
you
was
go on
like
stage
that.
before the real
Guess
people
what?
do.
I would not even give you the pleasure of mentioning your name to him, son.
He mentioned my name. He said I was one of the top comics in the game. We got it on video when him and Chris Rock was at the homie show. So my name get mentioned anyway.
That's a
Your
good
name
point.
Get mentioned when it's talking about opening
I do believe that.
at pools and on stage.
Corey, guess what?
You a swimming pool opener, dog.
Let me say. that's a
And
lot
you
of-
didn't even make it after that. You still out
a
here
lot of people- let me tell you
scraping.
something, Corey.
Corey. Now, this is when the pot is calling the kettle black. You cannot sit there and say that this nigga still ain't make it. What in reference makes you bigger than Donnell Rawlings? What makes you the comedian that made it? I mean, we're talking about somebody who still to this day is begging for Hollywood to let him in without touching his ring hole. He wants to get an opportunity. He wants Hollywood to throw him a lick without having to lick balls. So what are we saying about people making it? If you look at the difference here, you can call him an opener, but Dave is putting him in front of 25,000 plus people in arenas. I don't know. I'm just saying. You cannot say stuff like that. Just be real with it, man. I know you want to shit on him, but that's the type of stuff that'll make people be like, well, Corey, comedy level, if you want to, it's subjective. If you think Corey's funnier than Donnell, great. But come on, dog.
A lot of your peers.
Hey, man, if I done went to the pool party, I'd be rich, dog. That's all I'm saying, man. You got to get some paper for that, man. Your was out there, dog.
Hold on, man.
What? I'm just saying.
Hold up, man.
Listen,
Hold on, man.
you will never get your back, but sometimes people just let you open.
Y'all
Guess
crazy.
who laughing? Guess who laughing?
Y'all crazy, man. Y'all
What?
crazy.
It's real shit. I'm talking about facts. You talking hypothetically.
Y'all just need to do a battle,
Come
man.
on, man. Don't be putting them out there,
He
man.
put his ass out there when he sat between the nigga legs when he was
No, I ain't
through.
gonna co-sign that. Listen,
gonna
Was
tell
that
you gotta get
before or
his ass.
after?
listen.
You
Y'all
look
need to do a
relaxed
battle.
either
Y'all
way.
just need to battle it out.
Can we
and
just
let the fans.
Can we pay for this?
Say this. You said this, Corey. You said this. You said Dave Chappelle said you was one of the top 5. The interesting thing about that, a lot of your peers feel the same way about you. I've said on platforms, your style, how you do it, how you can have people on the edge and you bring them back. I said that. And a lot of peers respect you on that. But the loss of respect is the dumb shit you say to instigate that don't nobody give a other than you bring it up.
Do I have to say much about that? I've already said this. It's funny how whenever Corey gets in these situations with people, they can go back and forth. These people can say all they want to say and all these, whatever disrespectful back and forth, whatever. But ultimately, when it comes to them talking about him as a comedian, they can never say anything negative about that. They could say he's a one-trick pony. They could say this and that, but are people laughing off of that one-trick pony? If they are, then shit.
I wouldn't have never spoke to you if you wouldn't have yelled out. So I used to speak to you just out of respect. But then after you did that thing at the comedy, the Laugh Factory, that's when I was like, oh, that jealousy came out. But it happens to me a lot, so I ain't mad at you.
Oh, damn.
It ain't nothing.
So hold on, wait,
Hold on,
fellas.
I want to say this, Corey. Let me say this, please.
Go ahead.
The funny thing about you said the jealousy.
Hey, Big Bank Hank said Corey would have got paid at that pool party. Yeah, Corey always has made it very clear that if he was gay, he'd go hard as a gay man. No Diddy.
When I look, and I heard you say it before, I look at my idea, I want you to
He look at what?
explain.
The
Please
IB what?
tell me please tell me what does Donnell Rawlings have to be jealous of Corey Holcomb for? I'm just trying to say that.
I got hair.
You got what?
I got hair. I'm just saying stupid now, because I ain't mad at you, dude. It seems like it's getting too intense with you. The white on the side of your mouth now and shit.
Ha 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 ha. You know what?
You and Les should have a battle. That's more of an even battle. If y'all went on stage, you might beat her, but not by that much.
Stop calling her Les on this show. His name's Jess.
I'll be so glad when people say Les like me.
It's Jess. No,
It's
Jess.
Les.
No, it's Jess.
It's
Stop.
Les.
All right. That's it?
Y'all gonna have a battle, man. Stop.
Man,
Good luck to you, brother.
Thank you, man. Tell that brother you love him, man.
I'll be lying if I said that. I wish him well in life.
There you go.
I really do. I don't have no hate for him.
Thank you, man.
Good luck, dog.
We're gonna get a stripper pole for you, Corey, and just relive your past.
You was running around. You was at Chippendale, huh?
Whatever.
He was at Chippendale.
I just
It's
realized.
crazy. We was strippers back
I just
in the day.
realized they ganging up on me. Ain't none of these got no hair. I got 3 bucks.
Yeah, I do hate. I don't like people. I be jealous. You wear a do-rag and I can't. I don't like that hair.
I take friends and family over here any day. You can take all it.
Yeah, okay,
Damn.
man. You don't know nothing about my life, dude. I know about your life. I see you walking out there with your little boy you had with the other breed.
Ooh. And there we go. Just like my guy said above, that was what happened on the 5150 show. He showed Donnell's family and was talking about how he's a self-hating black man because he had a baby with a half-breed woman. Now, granted, he didn't go there until Donnell went there. Donnell made the little slick, I'd rather take family over X, Y, and Z. And that's when he opened the door for more disrespect.
Yeah, that hurt, didn't it? You don't like yourself, dog. You ugly.
Guess what?
You ugly.
Ask you this question.
You're an ugly boy. If you had on a tuxedo, you would look better in a jogging suit. It looked like you supposed to have on the jogging suit. If you had on a tuxedo, the police would be like, what you up to?
Y'all should have a roast off right now. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, I ain't mad at her.
Go on, let him say this.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
Since you
Roasting.
you judge me on my physical appearance, so you're judging a man.
So you agree with me. That's all I wanted. Now I won.
Nigga, I ain't never would say I was pretty. What I'm saying is, who you think is fine and who can get it from you, Corey? Since I'm ugly, who the fine you know? Tell me who fine.
I don't know fine it's like you. You sit at the pool between their legs.
But you know ugly. But you don't know fine.
I do know some other.
No, what about the fine ones? Then you gotta compare it to something. Who pretty to you?
I have never called a man fine. I don't know what you're talking
But you
about.
call it ugly. Or who handsome? Who's good looking to
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
you? Yeah, who's
You ready to say something?
I know some handsome gentlemen.
What's
Oh
going
my
on?
God.
handsome gentleman?
Who is it? He trying to find who he is.
But you said, do you know just fine? I'm like, nigga, what the f is you talking about? I don't know a fine. You know fine.
This is when you have an honest conversation.
Hey, boy, I'm about to send you some swimming trunks to try to get to the end of this, dog.
That was a bad. That was
I'm
a bad
sending you
joke.
pool wear from now on.
This nigga's crazy.
And I'm sending them.
I'm sending you one of them ducks they be sitting on in the pool.
I'm sending I'm sending money back to them last 3 shows when people walked out and left your show.
What? They walked out the show.
Hey man, look, I whatever you say, I'm trash. I'm trash. I'll be in New York on the 14th of May. Come to the show and open up.
How was California?
I always rip. Even the show you talk about, I rip. I'm Superman. I say that, but run with it. You and the guys, I know you backdooria, boy. Remember I told you, I know. You just don't want to admit it.
You got your audience trained.
You say you ain't never been with a man before?
You got, man, I'm not, that's an ignorant question. I'm not even entertaining.
I'm trying to give you a chance to just say it so before these receipts come out.
When you
Donnell, why? Why are you look, I am somebody who self-proclaimed does not give a damn what you are, what you identify as, what you like to do in the bedroom. I don't care. I'm not finna ask you what you do. I'm not finna ask you if you penetrated another man or been penetrated. I do not care. But this is starting to look a little crazy because Donnell is trying to dodge the question for some odd reason when he could simply just say no if that was the case. And you're just proving this, man. You're proving that he said you got your audience trained, but here's the thing. If you say no, there are people out here who will who will take that as your admission of, whether or not you have. Not everybody has a cult mindset. If you answered that question and said no, then be like, see, Corey just be going out here saying shit. But now you kind of make people think he might have some receipts on you, dog.
Y'all crazy.
I'm giving you a chance.
Y'all crazy.
keep manipulating.
All right.
Thank y'all for the peace.
Thank you,
Peace,
brother.
man. Y'all can do it.
Y'all, man. Y'all
This is
Bruh.
crazy, man.
Bruh.
Y'all is
Ooh.
crazy.
I ain't never said nothing out of pocket to that until he said something to me. Shit.
I'm trying to figure out what he said.
I'm on stage. He yelling at me while I'm on stage. That ain't how you do that.
And what he said?
He got up out of there quick too. He got up out of there quick. Not like I be on that, but I'm just saying. I was like, where that nigga go?
You can't say nothing to somebody on stage. I don't know how to go. What's the etiquette?
I'm saying, like, he just started yelling out while I was on stage. Like, what the fuck is that? He supposed to be a comedian.
Oh, so it's etiquette that you don't do that.
I think it's etiquette. I don't go inside the comedy club. I normally stand outside the comedy club because I know I don't have the patience to sit and watch a lot of shit that goes on stage, and I don't want to be disrespectful.
But to get to the comedy club, don't you have to be a certain level of talent?
To do what?
Get inside there, like get on the stage. Don't you got to be a certain level? Like, what is the?
You don't have to be
barrier
talented to
entry?
get on stage no more. At one time, you had to be talented.
I thought the comedy club. You talking about L.A.?
If you
on
got
Sunset?
numbers on the internet, you can get on stage.
Referencing Just Hilarious, or who Corey likes to call less hilarious. But now, let's have this discussion, because now I'm going to ask y'all the question about this interview. First, I'm going to pose the question about who y'all believe won this back and forth between Donnell and Corey. I'm gonna put a poll up. You ain't got to put yes or no or Corey or Donnell in the chat. I'm gonna put a poll up for you guys to vote on. So hold your horses. But the crazy thing about this back and forth is the fact that all this is rooted in comments that Corey said about Dave. Now, I spoke about this before as far as like the dynamic and whatnot, but here's the thing. If I'm Donnell and I'm great friends with Dave Chappelle, regardless of the narrative, people can be like, oh, he ain't shit without Dave, or he whatever the case, he hang on to Dave's coattails. Whatever you want to say, they are clearly really good friends. They clearly act like brothers, and have been for years. And I don't see Dave continuing to put this man on platforms for years and years and continue to bring him everywhere. Every time he did SNL, here come Donnell. He's doing things and incorporating his friends in his shit. And as a matter of fact, I made this reference before. Adam Sandler does the same thing. brings all his friends with him, put them in the movies, put them in all the, you know, give them their own movies. You know what I'm saying? Dave Chappelle has the ability to do that for his people. So you can't blame Donnell for being able to be close with somebody who has the ability to give him the opportunity to succeed in his career. So rightfully so, if Dave Chappelle is giving this man all opportunities and putting him on stages and putting him in front of thousands and thousands of people and getting him Netflix specials and helping him shoot specials, if I'm Donnell, I'm going to stick up for my friend, especially if I know that my friend isn't going to say shit because he's Dave Chappelle. He doesn't have the time or even cares about what Corey has to say, because if you're thinking about Dave Chappelle, if I'm Dave Chappelle and I'm getting 50 million from Netflix over here for this special and 60 million from Netflix on that special, and I'm making $2 million every time I touch a stage, and you know, people revere me as one of the greatest comedians of all time, why am I entertaining this guy who looks like he has to get on stage to make a living? I don't. I don't have to try to find a new way to revamp myself. I don't have to. I can just do what I want, and people are going to gravitate towards it. Why would I spend my time entertaining it? But let me ask this question while we go on. Let me see. Let's see. Let's see. There we go. All right, I'm gonna put the poll up. You guys go ahead and vote on that. But as I was saying, it does seem like a situation that might get a little heated. You know, before I was thinking that it wasn't gonna be some type of shit where they gonna get into it, they gonna have a back and forth, and it's just gonna be a war of words. But you mixing family in it, you doing the personal shots, you even speak on the fact that y'all, you know, talked about, you know, throwing hands at one point. I'm curious to know what these guys are gonna do when they see each other next time, because like I said, it's inevitable that they are going to run into each other at some point. You are in the same genre, you are in the same circle of comedians, of people that you know. At some point, Corey and Donnell are gonna have to come face to face. Pause. No diddler, no boat Diddy. Matter of fact, we might have to say no Donnell, because sitting between that nigga legs like that, that's a no Donnell moment. You gotta say no Donnell, nigga, because I don't think Diddy initiated that. I think that was he volunteered himself. As a matter of fact, that's what he said. He said that. He said he saw all them take a picture. He didn't want to get excluded, so he jumped in real quick, sat on the ground, and plopped himself right there. Said he wasn't even thinking about it. You weren't even thinking about it, so your body just naturally gravitated between the nigga's legs and just it's just what happens. What? Okay. All right. The poll is up. Yeah, make sure y'all vote on the poll, man. Make sure y'all go ahead and click who y'all believe won this back and forth between Corey and Donnell. I want to see. Oh man, y'all already starting out saying Donnell. We got 19 votes. 63% of y'all are saying that Donnell won this back and forth. Really? Okay. Matter of fact, let me know in the comment section right now why you believe that he won this back and forth. Whoever you believe won it, tell me why you think Donnell did. Let me read some of y'all comments, by the way. I'm sorry, I haven't really read nothing, but I'm gonna read some of y'all comments. Infinite Umber said, if he says no or not those, or he said if he said no or not, those who believe or want to believe Corey will believe him, so he chose not to entertain it. I believe that too. I believe that he's not trying to entertain something just for Corey's sake or for Corey's entertainment. But also, I mean, his fan base is what his fan base is, and if they see him dodge it, they're gonna really be on there like, you know, he dodged the question. He might really be backdoor. He might really. That's why I said what I said, because people have that mindset, especially the people that watch. A lot of the people that watch 5150 with that hive mindset, to the people that already believe everything that Corey says and believe about the industry and all these different things, and anybody he says is backdooria, they run with it. Like, that's what they're going to be thinking. That's what they're going to be running with at that time. Let me see. Binky says, I don't think Wallow likes Corey. Oh, damn. Why not? What up, Hurricane? Zoe says, SMH, he should have said no because Tuesday show, Corey going to be showing the receipts. Copaesthetic Art said, do you think Donnell and Dave have a closer relationship than Seinfeld and Chris Rock or George Wallace? Yeah, of course. Of course I do. Of course I do. I think they are real friends. I think Dave actually enjoys having Donnell around, and I think vice versa. I think it's like one of those things that I think about, and I know some of y'all have, you know, close friends like this. Dave and Donnell, to me, I think that their dynamic is like they really like hanging out with each other because they make each other laugh, or like they really entertain one another, you know what I'm saying? Or they just have good conversation, like whatever the case may be. I think that's their relationship, the way that they've talked to each other and talked about each other in the past, and the way that they just kind of stick together in a lot of ways and work together in a lot of ways. Like I said, I don't take Dave to be the type of person to bring somebody on tour with him or have them open up for him as much as he has with Donnell and different people. I think he likes to keep his circle around him, and he understands how valuable it is for somebody like Donnell to get himself out there and not be lost in this entertainment space, kind of like a Corey right now, where he has to be out here on the road trying to make a living because Hollywood necessarily don't mess with him. Zoe said Corey won because them receipts are coming. Watch Tuesday. I don't know. Corey says he has a lot of receipts, but then his receipts end up being somebody told me this, somebody told me that. It's not like actual physical evidence or something that he could actually prove. It's just hearsay from other people. Like, I don't ever think Corey ever really shows proof on his show with anything. He just says that he has knowledge of it because he hopes that the people that watch him believe, oh, well, he's in Hollywood, so he must know. He must know about X, Y, and Z. But then you're talking about somebody who isn't incorporated in none of the shit that's going on. So how does he know the ins and outs of it? Is he cool with people that are cool with other people that were at the party? Like, how does he get this information? He says he knows the people that Donnell hangs out with in New York, but what are these some people that Donnell just knows from the comedy sector or whatever the case may be? He didn't say it was his good friends. He wasn't saying it's people that he talked to on a regular basis. It's just some people that know him. And then you think about how many people these individuals know, and how many people will say that they know somebody just because they hung out backstage at a comedy club, or they got a chance to hang out with them for a night or be around the people that they're around. Like, you see, I've seen that so many times where somebody could be around somebody one time in life. You be around a superstar or somebody famous one night, you get a chance to actually hang out with the crew or some shit, y'all drinking or whatever, and you get a chance to chill. Now all of a sudden you telling people y'all cool and you know this person and shit like that. So we gotta get some real receipts. If you gonna bring receipts, man, bring real receipts. Black Man Cigar said that really has nothing to do with it because Dave comments on a lot of things that may not be worth his while. Donnell did disrupt his set, so yes, Corey gonna get with him. Copacetic said, I don't think you should critique publicly when you're older than who you're criticizing. Shaq do the same thing. Hurricane said Donnell had a fruitcake moment. Marquis said Corey wanted to fight after that. Yeah, he said F that nigga. He said, yeah, it is what it is. I don't think they ever gonna be cool. Shout out to Primetime B for the $4.99 in the super chat, man. I appreciate every single one of y'all that has donated and show love, man. It's the super chats and the cash apps. I thank y'all so much, man. If you want to get that information, also you can become a member of the GMS show. If you hit the membership button down below, you can become a member of this channel. He said, just watch the edited show. Wallow and Gillie definitely back Donnell. Did you catch the stray Charlemagne took from Corey? Yep, I did. He said that Charlemagne has been egging people on to talk about him, and that's why he hasn't been up there at the Breakfast Club show in a while. But I mean, clearly he hasn't been up there in a while because of Just Hilarious. I mean, you're not gonna go up there now that she's hired. I mean, she's definitely gonna not make that happen, and they're definitely not going to make her uncomfortable because they have a history of that already with they past co-host co-host who was there and started out with him, Angela Yee. When Charlemagne interviewed Gucci Mane, he said some foul shit about Angela Yee, everybody was like, you should have took up for her, you should have that. He was like, well, now I'm close. It's not like I'm finna take up for her or try to defend her. We not really friends like that. We just co-workers, basically, is what we got from that. So it's not like they trying to get into one of those situations again where they're like, oh, we're not protecting women around. Like, clearly after Angela Yee left, their mission was to get women a part of the show so that the narrative, part of that narrative of them not protecting women or not caring about the women on their show would cease to exist. All right. Now, George Smith says, but Donnell was magnetized to niggas' nuts all between the legs. Box Allen said, Corey won because Donnell never answered the question. Chris and Gray. I knew that was going to be the case. Gris and Gravy said the shit Donnell was saying was jabbing Corey like a sharp dagger. Black Man Cigar says people should be able to critique others without something. Did my audio just go out? What happened to my... I don't hear my music no more. Why did my music go out? Am I tripping? I'm tripping. Somebody help me. Are we good? Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. I hope this shit didn't go out. But anyway, I'm going to keep reading comments as if I don't think that this is gone. I just can't hear my music no more. My music went out of nowhere. Fuck the music. We don't need the music right now. Are we good? Okay, we're good. Music is back. Anyway, Ray Smitty says, do you think Wallo did that because of Craig Fack's comments about him? Well, here's the thing. We don't know if this was recorded before last week's 5150 show. And if it was recorded afterwards, I don't know if Wallo necessarily heard it. And if he did, he probably would have responded to it. Now, I haven't watched this whole interview, so I don't know if it was brought up or not. Probably not. But, you know, I'm sure Wallo isn't somebody who's afraid to, you know, bring that up and respond to something like that. T-Dub says, not reflective of you, but the majority of your fan base hates Corey and they just dick ride anything and anyone going at him. I mean, I think that I kind of, you know, build a space for people to be objective and people to, like, not always agree with everything Corey says. Because a lot of the people that do pull up here are people who enjoy the 5150 show, you know, regardless of popular belief of this channel. But I mean, people aren't afraid to call out bullshit and not in their own bullshit. I think a lot of people will confront themselves on this channel as well. I see a lot of people that relate to certain things that happen on the show and like call themselves out for certain things. So I don't think it's like a thing where most people here hate Corey. I think it's just, this is the side that's objective and people that have a difference of opinion and don't always agree with everything Corey does. Like, you know, during this, while we're watching this, you know, I see the people in here that are saying, oh, you know, Corey got him here and then, oh, Donnell got him there. These are people that have a difference of opinion. You don't have to always agree with everything that Corey says. But I do understand what you're saying. Easy Peasy said, Donnell did say no to the first time Corey asked that question. That's why he didn't bother answering the second time at the end. Yes, so Donnell did answer his question, and then he asked Corey the question back to Corey, and Corey said no. Infinite Umber said Donnell got the better of him because the names he called Corey struck harder to the point Gillie and Wallo started saying it with him as they all laughed with Corey there in person. Yeah, that was the part where I had to show them laughing because you could that probably hurt Corey's heart. Like, nigga, y'all here interviewing me. Y'all supposed to be here talking to me, and y'all over here laughing at my op making jokes about me, calling me a bitch. Damn, that had to hurt. I'm sorry. Tanisha Harris said Corey uses the same go-to "you gay" or "you're ugly," "you bald-headed girl" rebuttals. It is girly rebuttals. You bald-headed sissy, scallywag bissy. George the Truth says just Shannon Guest knew what he was doing. C. Lloyd Fish says, before I seen the unedited version, I thought Donnell won, but seeing the whole thing, I believe Corey won. Also, it seems like Gillie and Wallo edited it to make it look like Donnell cooked Corey. Yeah, that's what I said in the beginning. After hearing their entire conversation before I went live, I heard the entire conversation between them two. I was like, they kind of look like they was on Donnell's side and trying to make Donnell look good. Kobe, and that's because him and Wallow, clearly Wallow can FaceTime him out of nowhere. Him and Wallow are most likely cool. So you want to help your friend out in this situation, apparently. Copacetic said, I want to see Corey on 85 South with Carlos. Carlos ain't moved by shit. So you'll see if Corey really funny or not if he sat on that couch. I think he did already. Correct me if I'm wrong. Donnell, okay, Hurricane says Donnell gonna try to fight Corey in front of the club and slip and fall. Break both his wrists again, goddammit. Copacetic Art said Donnell broke his arm or foot in a bar fight a few years ago. I can't remember. It's one of them Breakfast Club interviews. Yeah, he did. He went a little crazy one night. Tasha Jones says when Donnell interrupted Corey's show, it was because Corey was trying to talk about Donnell being mild in his face so he can talk about it on Tuesday, and he didn't expect him to say something. Well, I mean, according to Donnell's recollection, he said that Corey was on stage and they got to a point where he started saying things about people not being able to be successful, or if they did like 3 movies, then, you know, they gay or something like that, and that's what made Donnell pop up and say something, and then they got into the whole Dave thing. Let's see. This was recorded after. Okay. All right. She said, this Corey's fan base, dude. Earth Dragon said, I fucks with both of y'all shows. Okay, for sure. Appreciate you. Duncan, what's going on? Everybody shout out Duncan Penderhughes in the building, man. He said, both them niggas old. He said, Donnell Rawlings be doing clown shit also. Yeah, after I seen some of his shit, like I was saying before, we talked about when he was getting into it on that roast shit. Like, it's a few times where he couldn't hold his own at all. And I'm just like, you the comedian in the room. You either with roasting or you're not. And it don't seem like he's able to take the joke. If you're not able to take the joke, quit popping up at roast sessions, you stupid nigga. What's wrong with you? Like, you can't take a joke. Why do you keep popping up at roast battles? Niggas gonna keep continuing to destroy you. And then make you look goofy because now you spazzing out, because the one that gets mad during a roast is the one that gets clowned the most, especially when it's over. And I think because of his, now this is just my opinion. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that his attachment to Dave Chappelle makes him believe that he's supposed to be respected on the same level as a Dave Chappelle. Not in the sense of comedy, like comedic style, like he's supposed to be respected as a comedian the same level as Dave, but more so just because of his affiliation and how much respect Dave has. He thinks people are supposed to have that level, or just however much level of respect for him because of his affiliation with Dave, because people respect Dave. And at the end of the day, they can give a fuck. They sat there and said, what did he say? They were chanting Ashy Larry at this nigga. He was getting heated. You can't be the type of guy that cannot take a joke. If you can't take a joke, stop going to roast battles, man. It's that simple. Biggie said, nobody here hates Corey. He's funny as fuck to me, but he has his ways. Yeah. Let's see. Duncan said, I don't like Corey. Oh yeah, you don't? Why not? Was he lying about that, or was he just was he trolling? Let's see. Trauma said they knew what they were doing though. It's so obvious. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think they set up Corey a little bit. They wanted that engagement. It's all good. I mean, they a big platform. They got to do shit like that. Carlos was on 5150. Yes, he was. Primetime B said Gillie and Wallow gonna be Fruity Booty podcast come Tuesday. Corey Hurricane said Corey still gonna bring up and tell jokes for an hour. He is. Marky said, I'm glad you got vid because Corey would have fabricated this interview. I mean, that's another thing. I mean, everybody got to go watch it for themselves, man. I'm going to watch the whole interview. I'm going to listen to the whole thing tomorrow just to listen to the conversation and things I was saying. Because, like I said, Corey is actually a lot more interesting and entertaining when he's on other people's platforms. When it comes to 5150, it's like, all right, like, yeah, who you beefing with this week? What crazy shit you going to say about somebody? Sprinkle in some advice and then go to break and come back and freestyle. Like, It's just a lot of that. But when he's on other people's platforms, it's just a lot more. It sounds like the way 5150 used to be. It's kind of crazy, but I mean, it is what it is. George Smith said, "Clout by association." Black Man Cigar said, "Exactly, GMS. He wants that, but he's not on Dave's level." BOKC says, "Corey got beef with 5 different people at one time. Bro, need to chill." Uncomfortable Truth said, "Truth is, I only know Donnell from Dave." Well, yeah, that's the thing too. You know, I'll say this. I you know, not you in particular, Uncomfortable Truth, but just I don't like to hear when people be like, "Oh, you know, I only know you of this," or nobody would know you if it wasn't for so and so. Everybody has got through. A lot of people have gotten through the core of Hollywood and the industry by going through other people. And it's not like he didn't play a part that people remember. You know, he does stand alone when it comes to who he is as his name. I mean, of course, everybody's going to continue to go along with, or he's going to continue to be like, you know, the person that people know of from Dave. But Donnell Rawlings has his name. You know what I'm saying? It's just like Charlie Murphy had his name. You know, he wasn't just somebody who came up behind Dave and everybody just is like, oh, there's Dave's flunky. Like, no, he played a pivotal part in the Chappelle Show, and still to this day, you know, the different roles that he's played and just being somebody that has tried to go on and accomplish things in his life, man. I think when we attach that, we minimize the work and the accomplishments that people have actually, you know, made in life. And I think that he is an accomplished comedian. He doesn't have to be the best comedian in the world. He has to be the funniest comedian in the world. He doesn't even have to be funny to you. But if he's accomplishing something, if he's succeeding in that space, then I think, you know, attaching certain things just kind of minimalizes somebody's accomplishment. So I never want to be like, oh, we only know you because of so-and-so. If it was somebody who was popping shit like one of Drake's homeboys like Baca, and I hate to bring up the Drake shit, but I just like the first person I thought about. Like when he did an interview recently talking about Kendrick, it was like, nigga, who the fuck cares what you think, man? We only know you because of Drake. You're not pushing the needle out here. You ain't got no hit songs out here. Your name ain't. The only time your name started ringing bells the most ever in life in the industry wasn't when your homeboy said your name in the song. It was when his op said something in the song and put you in there in a derogatory way. So please, Baca, shut the fuck up. That's when you use that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But for Donnell, I feel like it's different. Appreciate you, Binky, for putting the Cash App in the description, right, or in the chat below. Yeah, if you guys want to support the GMS show in a big way, you know, YouTube takes half of everything. So when you send $4.99, they gonna take $2.99. You send $10, they gonna take $5. You send $20, they gonna take $10. But if you want to send something directly in support of the GMS show, you can hit the Cash App, which is in the chat. Thank you, Binky. Verisid said they tried to line Corey ass up. Duncan said, nah, Corey good. I'm just talking shit. Yeah, I already knew that. I already knew that. Infinite Number said, are we supposed to pretend like Corey is on Dave's level? Neither him or Donnell are up there. Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, somebody that is a fan of Corey, myself, I don't think that he holds a candle to Dave, and that's just because of, you know, in my opinion, Dave is one of the greats, and he's somebody who I think is hilarious. So when I heard Corey's opinion about Dave not being funny, I'm like, nigga, that's bullshit. And I think it's just because I grew up watching Dave and like really watching him and like studying his style of comedy and how he moves and a lot of the things that he says. Like I can tell when he's trying to be funny or when he's cracking a joke or when something, you know what I'm saying? Like when you pay attention to somebody enough, it becomes natural just to, you know when some shit, like when some shit is funny, man. Like and then I also appreciate his perspective on life. So he doesn't always have to be the funny Dave. He doesn't always have to be funny. He doesn't always have to crack a joke. I also appreciate his mind when it comes to certain subjects and current events and, you know, social justice, things like that. He's somebody who really gets it, and his perspective is something that, regardless if you want to pay attention to comedy or not, or if he's funny or not, is something to pay attention to. And even Corey has said that. So regardless if he feels like he hasn't been funny in a while, that's still something that Corey appreciates that he does, because he had like he's incredible with the shit that he does. His work is incredible. All right, and that's just how I feel. You don't have to feel the same way, but that's just how I feel. T-Dub said Gillie and Wallo just confirmed they're nothing but divisive, provocateur tethers here to cause more confusion in our community and profit off of it in our culture. Damn. Corey is in a lot of people's top fives. Yes, he is. George True said Dono is no buck nasty. That's hilarious. All right, let's close this poll up, man. Let's close the poll up, man. We got 55 votes, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give y'all one last minute, man. Y'all on the clock. The clock has started right now. One last minute to vote on the poll. I see we got 55 votes so far. 53% is saying Donnell won this back and forth, with 47% saying Corey did. So get your last votes in. You have 45 seconds. GMS fam, get to it. Infinite Umber said, in a lot of hood niggas top fives, but to the masses, they don't know or care about Corey. Robert Nelson said, did they release the interview yet? Yes, the interview is up now. You can go watch it as we speak. Curtis Phillips said, if they take $2.99 out of $4.99, that's more than that. I was just speaking fast, okay? Cut me some slack. Uncomfortable Truth said, facts, Dave can talk about some real ish, and I think he has even the hardcore left or right think differently. You see, they tried to cancel him when he started speaking some shit, and that's what really happens. They tried to get him up out the paint, and you could see it with the contradictions. I done talked about that shit so much to the point where I don't see how nobody saw the common sense of what was happening. When Dave started really talking about certain things and putting things in certain perspectives that was making people actually think critically about what was happening and bringing up examples, he even did it in his special. When he had to bring up the example of what's the weirdo nigga name? Caitlyn Jenner. When he brought up Caitlyn Jenner and the difference between Caitlyn Jenner and Muhammad Ali and why it was accepted or more easier for Caitlyn Jenner to change her gender than it was for Muhammad Ali to change his name. That was literally the cross between what he was talking about and what people were trying to put on his name. So they tried to throw the homophobic and transphobic shit on him when he was talking about race. As a matter of fact, he couldn't even put it in an intricate way in that way because people still didn't get it. So he went on to the next special and said, Can gay people be racist? He just blatantly asked the question. And it was like people didn't want to answer that question. And as soon as he did, now you see these people pulling up to his comedy shows trying to boycott and get him up out of here. He asked that question. They tried to act like that wasn't what the plot was. Then he was like, okay, y'all don't... All right, I asked the question. Y'all didn't want to answer it. All right, let me tell y'all about this friendship I had with this trans individual who I put on stage and put money on their pockets. And then the time when I was out there helping this trans individual, you know, the people that y'all say I hate, I'm helping this person try to chase their comedy dreams, putting this person on stage, staying in contact with this person, coming back to their city. And when I come back to their city, I'm calling them, telling them, hey, come open up for me. And that he said, look, he helped this person. They saw Dave's special. And that person's community went in on them. And when they went in on that person, it just so happened that in that time, that person ended up taking their own life. Now, interpret that however you want. Just know that that person most likely felt some type of pressure and some type of scrutiny and didn't like themselves at some point, not because of what they identified as, but because they were probably getting attacked 24/7 by their own community over somebody else's special who they're affiliated with, who wasn't even out there to attack them. But because people were so hypersensitive and wanted somebody to try to cancel because we were in cancel culture atmosphere, that happened. And then when they brought that story up, man, did they shut that shit down so fast. They didn't want to look like monsters. They didn't want to look like the people that drove their own somebody in their own community to end it all because they were confused about what somebody meant in their own comedy special. And we're talking about comedy at that. We're talking about a stand-up special. Man, I talked about that stuff so much, it's just ingrained in my head. Like, there was nothing that was going to be like, man, cancel Dave Chappelle for what? For what? For what? You can't have a real conversation with somebody who only thinks out of emotion. They're never going to think logically. They're never going to think rationally. They're only going to be delusional, and they're only going to use talking points from other shit that they heard somebody else said that made sense to them. Shit's crazy, man. Now, before we get out of here, because I need to go to bed, there was this question that was posed on the internet, right? And this is another question that I have to ask y'all. I'm not going to put up another poll, but y'all going to have to answer this in the chat. This question that has just struck the internet this morning and decided to take its course, like, I can't even explain how wild this conversation got. And I'm not even gonna put up with the lengthy conversations that might come to this chat room. But man, this is the question that has been on everybody's mind on social media all day. And I have to ask you guys this question and see where y'all coming from with this. But the question is, what would happen if 100 niggas went 200 toes down to toe with one single gorilla? What do y'all think would happen if 100 niggas went toe to toe with a full-grown gorilla? What do y'all think would happen? Do y'all think the 100 men will succeed, or do you think they will horribly fail in their own small lake of blood? We must find out. Did I end the poll? Oh, I didn't even end the poll. Oh damn, we back to this picture. Oh shit. All right, get this off my screen. Silky shin ass nigga. You know, Diddy is right where he's supposed to be, man. You outside with that much oil on your shins, nigga, you need to be locked up. I think that's an offense in itself. Your fucking shins should not be that oily, dog. I mean, you did have thousands of bottles of baby oil, but goodness gracious, man. Silky shin ass nigga. Diddy is. All right, we're gonna end the poll. 64 votes, man. 64 votes. 65 votes. We just ended the poll. Corey came back in a landslide. This was just like last night's game. Denver versus the Clippers. Corey came through, caught the air ball, and dunked it with 0.3 seconds left on the clock. 65 votes. 50% says Corey won the back and forth. 49% says that Donnell won. Corey comes through from the neck and neck race, man. Oh my God. That was a clutch poll, man. That was a clutch poll. It was very close. Very close. Now let's talk about this, man. Let's talk about this. Who will win? As a matter of fact, I'm already here. I might as well put the poll up. Might as well put it up. Who would be victorious? All right, guys. The poll is up. We might as well put it up. Might as well put it up. I want to read some of the shit y'all saying. They'd get torn apart. Ed said fail. BOKC said the niggas gonna win. Oh, okay. Tell us why. Explain. We need to hear some explanations. We can't just say they win. Tell us why they'd win. This is bare knuckle battle. This is not you got rocks and sticks and sharp stones, nigga. It's just hand to hand combat. 100 niggas versus one gorilla. Keep that in mind. Pride Time B said gorilla would run. Gorilla would run. Oh, okay. You say he'll be too scared to fight 100 men. All right. George Smith said gorilla is smashing all of them. Now, look, if we're let's just say we're in the confines of some type of room. You can't just, or some, arena, some type of Squid Games type apparatus. You know what I'm saying? You're in one of those. Ain't no running away. It's 100 niggas and one gorilla. Y'all have to pick what's going to happen. You can't run. They can't run. We got to figure out who's going to win. Trauma says, I imagine it picking up someone and just beating everyone else with that one dude. They said the story that will be told for decades will be the story of what happened to the first nigga that ran up on the goddamn gorilla, dog. They said the first dude to run up will be the reason why everybody else back out. And I'm telling you, I said that to somebody else. I'm like, bro, not everybody has seen a limb get ripped from somebody's body. If you see that, trauma kicks in. It's not just a reaction where it's like fight or flight, nigga. Like, most people have never seen in front of their face a limb get ripped off. So if you see that, you're going to be stuck. You're not going to be so quick to run up on something that could easily do that. And we're going to get to that too, because they explain why you shouldn't want to make this happen. Jan Wynn said Ninja's gonna need 100 ambulances. Fuck the dumb shit. Safe Zone said when Corey brought up Will, they switched subjects quick with no remorse. Exactly, they fuck with Will. You can't talk crazy about Will in front of them. JR said depends on the type. Are we talking Super Saiyan silverback? Oh yeah, it's a silverback gorilla, full grown silverback, middle-aged gorilla. Duncan said 100 men all on the same page would win. Oh, okay. What's the strategy with that, Duncan? You spelled gorilla wrong, fam. I did. My bad. I was playing Far Cry 6, and that was like stuck in my head. They spell their camp like gorilla like that, and I literally just beat Far Cry 6. If y'all never played the Far Cry series, sorry, this is a side note for the gamers out there. If you've never played Far Cry, any of the Far Cries, I suggest that you play Far Cry and get Far Cry 6 if you haven't played that one yet. That's the newest one, I believe, or the most recent one. The game is fire. Play it and you'll see what I mean. Anyway, BOKC says because of Gorilla C, it's outnumbered. He's not gonna attack anyway. I mean, if his back's against the wall, he's gonna have to do something, right? Infinite Umbra says there's no way 100 dudes are taking on the gorilla. Greater bone and muscle density, greater overall strength, biting and grip strength, 100 dead men. George says it's gonna be a Hulk Loki moment. Curtis Phillips said the what would win because of them would have a what? Curtis Phillips. Somebody get Curtis Phillips out of here. Did he not know that like he could get excommunicated from this place? What are you doing, you weirdo? Move around. We don't want you here, you cauliflower mayonnaise drinking bitch. Your sister is your greatest muncher. Your dad is also your uncle. Your mother has ancestral deformities. You bathe. You know what? I'm not gonna. No. Let's get back to this. Money Mar said, and if we're being honest, Chappelle is not on Kevin Hart's. Oh, you talking about the Kevin Hart segment? I got you. Pride Time B said, do you understand how much weight 100 men is? They would stump a mud hole through him. You believe so? You believe so? Damn. Earth Dragon says Far Cry 5 is my top 5 games of all time. Hell yeah. Now, I want to play this because it's important for you guys to understand that this is something that happened. There are people who really believe, and I was waiting for y'all. I wanted y'all to say this. I wanted y'all to come on here and tell me that y'all believe that 100 niggas will win against one gorilla. Because there's other people that feel like you. You're not alone. You're not alone. See, my guy here says gorillas are the most overhyped fake demons of the animal kingdom. They're herbivores. They literally do not know how to fight. They are not gonna throw a punch at you. 100 men in a half decent shape would drop that thing. Pause. All right. Well, let's go to some Carfax about these gorillas. All right. Let's go to the Carfax. All right. When you talk about a gorilla, let's just talk about what a gorilla is real quick, and then let me know if you feel the same way after you watch this. Okay. For the people that believe that the 100 men would defeat one gorilla, let me know if you still feel the same way after you watch this. Oh, it's muted.
Gorilla.
My bad.
And there are people. I can tell you right now, I would not join a modern day hunting party of men because the question is 100 men versus one full-grown silverback gorilla. And there are people out there like this that are saying that 100 guys would win. And no, they wouldn't. No, just flat out no. A gorilla's skin, you can't bite through it. Their bones, somewhere between 2 and 4 times as thick and dense as ours. Their hand, like their grip force, is something like 1,300 pounds. That means that with one hand, they could crush your skull. My dudes, this is what you're fighting. When they stand up, they are 6 feet tall. They weigh about 400 pounds on average. They can lift, press, or pull somewhere between 2,000 to 4,000 pounds. For some perspective, that's enough to tear your arm or your leg off. There's guys out here trying to rationalize this, being like, well, we're endurance animals and all that stuff. This thing could operate at 1/4 of its strength and still body bag you. And we haven't even addressed the fact that even if you get close enough, you can't damage it. Thick skin, super dense bones, wrapped in an insane amount of muscle. You couldn't hit this hard enough to break anything. Like, its femur is twice the size of yours. I want you to look at that skull. That skull could headbutt you and cave your face in, to say nothing of all the teeth. Then we come down here. Each one of these appendages is a death area. And even if you don't die, you're going to be missing or have a crushed limb. You're out of the fight until it decides to come and clean you up. And I loved some of the crazy hunting tactics because they're like, well, we would just swarm and like, what are you going to get? Maybe 6, 10 humans at the same time. And we would grab its limbs and spread it out. These are going to crush you. It can pull you toward it harder than you can. What are you going to do once you have a hold of its limbs? Yeah, you're going to die because it's going to crush you or pull you into its mouth and bite your head off.
The last thing I want to see while I am standing 100 niggas strong is somebody get their brain squeezed out the top of their head. When I tell you I'm a shrivel up and turn white, I mean, shit, call me a bitch if you want to. Yeah, I'll be a bitch. I'll be damned if I go out by a gorilla squeezing the brain out the top of my head, nigga. You crazy? Are you insane? Do you understand the feeling, the imminent death feeling that you will have face to face with a gorilla in the moment of him grabbing you? Like, oh, this nigga got a hold of me. Like, do you understand? I'll just go limp. I ain't gonna fight back. What's the point? What's the point of a struggle? I'm just gonna limp. Whatever happens, man. You know, you know, this how you wanted me to go. I must have did some fucked up shit because I don't know why this is happening to me, but fuck it. Just swung around, flipped upside down, get low key like a motherfucker. Nigga, a gorilla will peel the skin off your body, man. And y'all niggas talking about that. What? Oh my God. I can't believe y'all. I can't believe y'all. Let's read the poll, man. What's the poll saying? What's the poll saying? 100 men versus 1 gorilla. Who would be victorious? With 26 votes. With 26 votes, we have the gorilla winning in a landslide. Now, they do have some people out here, some people that think that they can compete. They say we got one of the guys here that is going to be one of the 100 guys who is going to try to defeat the gorilla. Let's see what type of moves this guy has to defeat the gorilla. All right. Okay. Do you guys think that this is enough to defeat the gorilla, somebody with these type of moves? You probably saw that and was like, yeah, we got a warrior on the squad, man. We got to get him out there. He could be the one to help us take this gorilla down. Then y'all see him do this fucking move here, running up to the gorilla. Oh, shit, yeah, go Jason, boom. And right there, gorilla grabbed this nigga out of midair and ripped his entire thigh from his pelvis. Niggas be sitting like, Jason! This nigga sitting there screaming in agony. Ah! With an axe laid out next to him. This nigga thought he was Rambo Jet Jackson. What? Stop it, man. Talk about a guy. You know what? Somebody put a computer generated thing up here for educational sake. So this is what somebody did. They computer generated 100 humans versus 1 silverback gorilla. This is what was simulated here. Look at this. Let's see what happens. Who comes out victorious? Do you see this man doing irreversible damage? This nigga just walking in between 100 niggas, just toss them in the air like popcorn. This nigga is confettiing niggas. Look at this. Bulldozing niggas out the way. Who gonna win? Who gonna win? Oh my God, all I see is red bars decreasing. All I see is bodies flying and red bars decreasing. While this nigga has damn near a full green bar of health. Look at him just punching. He's punching down like Dave Chappelle did to the trans community. He's punching down. Look at this shit, man. Imagine me being the last nigga. Hold up. Hell no. Hell no. How you the last nigga and think you gonna win this? Look at this. This is what it's gonna look like. Minus the several limbs that will be scattered around like leaves in autumn. Get the fuck out of here, man. What are we doing? Kenneth Berry said gorilla gonna use 4 niggas at one time as maracas. This nigga started dancing, beat niggas out, do. Looking like Jim Carrey in The Mask. Duncan said it's 6 Africans in the Congo that want all the smoke. If there's anybody I put my bet on, it's 6 Africans who are tribal trained, who job done. Now we have to arm them, but they won't have any guns. They will have their natural weaponry, and they will be wearing their ceremonial garb. And we will be able to see what it will actually look like. I'm just saying. Now, before I get out of here, man, this was a very enjoyable thing to see. Not when it happened, but the aftermath. All right? This is what I got to talk about before we get out of here. So just want to inform y'all, shout out to, Shedeur Sanders, also Shiloh. Shedeur dirty, you know what I'm saying? They didn't like his demeanor. The NFL wanted to make an example out of him for any other black confident and braggadocious stars in the making. They wanted them to be humble. So that's what they did to Shedeur Sanders. Now, yesterday Shedeur got a phone call. I believe it was the day before. But either way, he got a prank phone call from somebody acting like they were from the NFL to tell him that he got drafted. What happened was he got on the phone, the cameras were around him, everybody was around him, and the person talking to him ended up saying, "You're going to have to wait a little longer," and hung up. Now, of course, in classic clout chase fashion, these college idiots decided to post the video on social media of them doing this, not even realizing that what they did was crazy, out of this world, fucked up in so many different ways. Not even just because they prank called them, but how the number was gotten and how you even get that number in the first place. So a lot of people don't understand. They probably like, oh, prank phone call, somebody just had Shedeur's number. No, when the draft day is going on, there is a specific number that you have with the NFL that is exclusive with them for them to call you to make the trade happen. That was confidential information. Those were things that were only known from the NFL and personnel of the NFL. There was nobody outside of that realm that knew. What happened was this kid whose father is a defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons went in his dad's open iPad and found Shedeur's number and prank called him. That has now went left because they found out who he was due to that video. And now consequences will be coming down on not just him, but I'm pretty sure his dad. Now, I don't know if his dad for sure because they're framing the story as if, oh, the iPad was open already and the son went in the iPad and got it himself unintentionally. It wasn't like his dad gave it to him to prank call him. But then you have to think about this as well. Let's think about this. Let me bring you down a little bit of a conspiracy. If we're watching what is happening to Shedeur Sanders and the way that they are stalling on picking him and them trying to clearly make an example out of that young man, what makes me believe that the Falcons defensive coordinator didn't do this and orchestrate this himself to try to shit on him even more and to try to embarrass him even more? Maybe because they tried to have talks with him and he probably was like, oh yeah, y'all not the, yeah, no, I don't. What can y'all do for me? I can go to a better squad. I'm too good for the Falcons. Something could have taken them off, or it didn't have to be direct, because you know how some of them people be. It ain't even got to be a direct disrespect to them. He could have disrespected, or not even disrespected, but been too cool or been too confident to somebody who that coordinator knows. And he said, you know what, for that person, I'm going to get this guy back. Hey, son, go get with your friends, go in your dorm and do this, blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. So you mean to tell me you just had your iPad open to secure numbers in the NFL where your son could just walk up and see wide open, just sitting there on the table, in the kitchen table? They said he was home visiting his family, so he saw the iPad and it was already open. An iPad that was already open to confidential phone numbers specifically for the NFL draft. Come on, man. The coach has to be punished as well. There's no way. And then on top of that, if the NFL decides that this is something that they could be accepting, where personal and confidential information gets leaked out due to your staff, if that's okay, because if I'm the NFL, I would never want to risk something like this happening again. You got to get up out of here. But I don't think that's going to happen. They might protect him because he has the complexion for the protection of the collection. But anyway, nonetheless, I hope they do punish this kid to the fullest extent. I hope they kick him out of whatever school he was in. I want them to make him an example as much as they tried to make Shedeur an example, even though this man is a NFL caliber quarterback. I want them to come down harder on this kid who didn't have shit going on, but trying to prank somebody else who's trying to live their dreams and succeed at it. I want them to treat him just as worse as they was trying to treat Shedeur. I know it's not gonna happen, but you could only hope. A man could only hope. I'm not even gonna read his statement. Oh, punk ass boy. Nobody cares about your statement, fam. As a matter of fact, this is the perfect time to let y'all know I appreciate every single one of y'all for pulling up today. It's been a very dope show. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Follow me on my socials. I'll follow everybody else. Appreciate everybody that sent the super chats. Appreciate everybody that hit the Cash App. If you want to support, you can do so. The link is in the description below, or it's in the chat, or one of my moderators can put it in the chat. Appreciate y'all. Shout out your city, man. Shout out where you are tuning in from. We had a dope show today. I wasn't even expecting to go 2 hours, but we did it. We did it. I want to shout y'all out before we get out of here, man. GMS fam, let's get it. Hey. Shout out to Uncomfortable Truths, BOKC, Rome, Allen, George, Smith, Money, Marvell, T-Fam, One, Infinite, Umbra, JR Miller. Appreciate you for putting the Cash App in the chat below. I'm about to roll another one and go to bed, because it is about that time. I appreciate every single one of y'all for pulling up today. Y'all was lit in the chat, of course. We're going to see y'all again. We're going to be back this week. GMS fam, The Green Room, we out. Play that 3G's beat, man.